Get high rapper, the man hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the littest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the man hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down. It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules but know that it be fair and foul. Rap blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the man hour though, now we going live.
What is up, everybody? Michael Buckeister here with the Mike and Mike Man Hour, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. Coming to you on this Wednesday edition. Mike is out today. We'll be welcomed by Coach Tip a little bit later in the show. But first things first, guys, head over to the one and only MikeandMikeManHour.com. Pick yourself up some merchandise. I do not have my hoodie on today. I got my football hoodie on, but we got hoodies. We got beanies. We got hats, coffee mugs. We got the Mike and Mike Man Hour stuff. We had the After Hours Man Hour as well stuff over there. And coming to you soon, next week, we're going to have Man Hour AM. The co-host of the Man Hour AM is going to be myself and Coach Tip. Coming to you guys, 7 a.m. East Coast time is when the Man Hour AM will start. And then, of course, you have the Mike and Mike Man Hour, 1 p.m. East Coast time, and the After Hours, 10 p.m. East Coast time. 3 hours a day, Man Hour talk with Brandon Combs, myself, Mike LeBlanc, and then, of course, Coach Tip as well. If you guys listened to the Man Hour After Hours last night, man, it went left real fast on us. We had LeBlanc, Combs, and a special guest, Wyatt Williams, on the show, and we had a lot of fun. Brandon Combs from Triple Shot Sports and my Man Hour After Hours co-host said that the New Orleans Saints are better off with Jameis Winston at the helm than Drew Brees. Yeah, you guys heard that right. Brandon Combs, my Man Hour side part there, said that Jameis Winston is better than Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints right now. So I would love to bring him on, but if you guys missed it, head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Mike and Mike Man Hour, and hit on that After Hours playlist. It is the most recent video in that playlist. But as we get closer to the NFL trade deadline here, there have been some moves that have been made. One of which, Eli Apple has been cut or waived by the Carolina Panthers. Eli Apple has only played about 26 snaps, defensive snaps this season, and played about 3 or 4 special team snaps the week before that, before the Carolina Panthers have decided to cut their ties with the former first-round pick in Eli Apple. As you guys know, Eli Apple was a first-round pick for the New York Giants, did not land there for very long, went to New Orleans, had a semi-successful career, and then obviously he is now with Carolina. Also, the Dallas Cowboys are starting to make moves on Wells. They are planning to trade Dontari Poe, defensive tackle. If they don't get any trade offers, they will be waiving Dontari Poe as well. So obviously the Dallas Cowboys are looking to make some moves as well. Maybe clear some cap space, some room for some talent moving in. But we are seeing the talent getting traded a lot here. And next up is Carlos Dunlap from the Cleveland Browns has officially been traded to the Seattle Seahawks, making that Seattle Seahawks defense a little bit more threatening, adding some depth or some playmakers into that front seven there. And, you know, like I said earlier, when you have a safety leading the team in tackles, something is wrong with the front seven. And obviously now the Seattle Seahawks are starting to address that a little bit by getting Carlos Dunlap. I wonder if they're going to make any more moves, with the Dontari Poe. I mean, he was great for the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a pretty good run with the Atlanta Falcons as well. hasn't made too much of an impact for the Dallas Cowboys this year, but we'll be kind of curious of where he goes with that. So we do have some people popping up in the chat here, guys. If you are interested, we are going to interact with the show today on the M&M chat line here. M&M Marketing is sponsoring the chat box this week. So head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Mike and Mike Man Hour. Watch us live, and we will be able to interact with you guys on that page. We do have some moderators over there, so if we do not get to you, hopefully the Man Hour moderator will be able to assist you on any issues that you have or questions, or bring it to my attention, right? So we are still waiting on Coach Tip to join us here, so let's go ahead and jump in to today's show. On today's show, it is Wednesday. We went through the power rankings yesterday with Matt Benz. The Rams are at the number 10, and I wish I didn't have the list in front of me right now, but I want to talk about the Miami Dolphins a little bit. Coach Tip's Miami Dolphins. I was hoping to have him on for that. So should we wait for him to come on to talk about his Miami Dolphins? No, we're not here on time. Unfortunately, I know life happens, but this is just the way things are going to work right now. You know what? Out of respect, I guess we will give him a little bit of time. We will give Tip some time to talk a little bit of his Miami Dolphins moving forward. But let's talk week 8 of the NFL season. The trade deadline is quickly approaching. Like, we are, I believe, 5 days away. I believe November 2nd is when it ends. And we are going to look at some trades that should happen or could happen. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals have traded Carlos Dunlap to the Seahawks. I said the Cleveland Browns. That was my mistake. He plays for the Cincinnati Bengals now. So the Bengals are starting to make a little bit of room here. But the Atlanta Falcons are looking to trade Takk McKinley as well. Takk McKinley is a defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons, and there is a lot of need for defensive front players right now. The Dallas Cowboys need some help. The Seattle Seahawks need some more help with them as well. But is there a suitable trade partner for this Takk McKinley? Takk McKinley, I believe, is still nursing a quad injury or a hamstring injury. I can't remember for sure what it is, but he was hurt a couple weeks ago and has been kind of nursing that injury since. So I'm kind of curious of if any teams would be interested in moving forward with him with the injury plague that has been happening, right? So some more news. Houston Texans closes their facility after positive COVID-19 test while they were on their bye week. The team announced today that they will close their facility for deep cleaning and for contact tracing among the rest of the staff and team members and whatnot. This is not the first time an NFL facility has been shut down. We've seen the Tennessee Titans. We've seen the Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, and most recent, the Indianapolis Colts for roughly 6 hours. So COVID's still kind of running wild a little bit here, and Houston Texans are the next on the list to be shut down. Now, key thing is the Houston Texans did play the Green Bay Packers last week, and I wonder how that is going to affect the Green Bay Packers moving forward, because we've seen it when teams play each other. I mean, they obviously got to get tested, rapid testing, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I wonder if anybody from the Green Bay Packers are going to test positive with the whole coronavirus. And as said last night on the After Hours, Dallas Cowboys have traded Everson Griffin to the Detroit Lions for a draft pick. I believe it was a 5th-round draft pick, 5th or 6th, or it's a 5th and 6th. I don't know. I believe it was just a 5th-round draft pick. Griffin is a 32-year-old, and we got him from Minnesota. The Dallas Cowboys got him from Minnesota. Hasn't really panned out too well, so send him back to the NFC and CAC North and watch him tear it up. Because that's kind of what happens with those Dallas Cowboys players, right? And then before we head to a quick little break here, One of the biggest signings so far, obviously, was Dez Bryant to the Baltimore Ravens. He was signed on their practice squad just the other day. So I am kind of intrigued to see if Dez Bryant will make it into the active roster coming forward. So a poll question over on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Mike and Mike Man Hour, is, does Dez Bryant find himself on the active roster for the Baltimore Ravens before the end of the season? A simple yes or no. Like I said, Dez Bryant is 31 years old. He hasn't played a game since 2018. So exactly 2 years ago was the last time he stepped foot, and he obviously tore his Achilles with the New Orleans Saints when he did play that game. Ravens are 5-1 on the season. Only loss coming to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they need some receiver help. So why not sign Dez Bryant? So we're going to take a quick little break here, guys. On the other side of the break, we are going to talk Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins, and other breaking NFL news. Mike and Mike Banner, guys, we'll be right back. Enjoy some of this Shanna Jackman. So, guys, Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys, we'll be right back right after this little break.
Too fast, radio on, hugging that curb a little too tight. Now he's hanging on for his life, upside down and all alone, hoping he could reach his phone. 80 years old, watching TV, all of a sudden it's hard to breathe. She tries to get up, then hits the ground. Wheel of Fortune spins around, sends up a prayer, thought this is it, as she pushed the button around her neck. They're the ones behind the scenes, every day and night. That friendly voice you need to hear when you're fighting for your life. Not every angel wears their wings, but they're always there for you and me. To them it's just a job after all, but they answer the call. 911, what's your emergency? She said I'd like to order pizza, please. But man, you reached 911. She said I know. Can you say how long? Ma'am, is everything okay? No, it's 413, babe, away. Is there someone in the room with you that you can't talk about? She said yes.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeister here with Mike and Mike Man Hour, live, raw, and uncut sports talk with a little bit of Shanna Jackman. She is a TikTok song that I heard, and I thought it was a good song, so I decided to share with the world, you guys. It's a very emotional song. Check her out over there on Spotify. Shanna Jackman, Answer the Call is the name of this song. It's about abusive and all that stuff, which abusive is very, very bad and whatnot. So head over to youtube.com/Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon. We are live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. East Coast time with the Mike and Mike Man Hour. Monday through Thursday, 10 p.m. East Coast time with the Man Hour After Darks. And coming soon, the Man Hour AM with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Coach Tip.
What's
Tip,
happening?
what's going on, man?
Oh man, you know it. I'm glad to be back on with you, brother. It's been a while.
It has. So, guys, as you have heard there, Coach Tip and myself are doing Man Hour AM starting soon with the whole football season happening right now on the heart in the playoffs. We're trying to find some times to really work some stuff out and get it going. But for sure, mid-November, we will come at you guys 5 days a week, early in the morning, Man Hour AM. Check us live on the youtubechannel.com/Mike and Mike Man Hour, or you can always obviously download us on Spotify and iHeartRadio as well. So, Tip, before you came on, I was talking some of the big trades that have been happening, some of the cuts and whatnot, but one of the biggest trades that hasn't happened yet is a quarterback to the Dallas Cowboys. With Andy Dalton possibly going to miss this week's game with the concussion, they're having a 7th-round draft pick start. DiNucci, I believe, is his name. And he is starting against Pittsburgh versus a Philadelphia Eagles team that's this is the battle for the division. Like, let's be flat out honest. Should the Dallas Cowboys be in the trade market for a quarterback in the next 5 days?
I think if they want to compete for the conference this season, I think if they want to make it to the playoffs this season, I think, yes, they're going to have to go out and get them somebody. I don't know what happened to Andy Dalton. We all thought he was just, Dallas wasn't going to miss a beat and what up? And they were going to, just cruise right through with Andy Dalton and everything was going to be good. But there's a lot of turmoil going on in Dallas, and there's a lot of there's things behind the scenes we don't even know about. So if they want to make the playoffs this year, if they want to vie for the conference and compete for it, then yes, I think they're going to have to go get a quarterback. Some of the names might be, who knows, Cam Newton. Now I put that out there because, Belichick he's a sneaky kind of, coach with the way he does trades and the draft and everything. You put Cam Newton with Dallas, and let's face it real quick, New England they're in rebuild mode. They are. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I think Belichick is getting ready to clear house, and I think what he's seeing going on with Brady is the future of the NFL, and I think he's going to get with that because he's probably the best coach ever. So he's not gonna miss a beat for too long before New England's back in the picture. But you put Cam with guys from the Cowboys. I mean, look at what they have, and then look at the threat that Cam can be. And you put him with a team like Dallas, so now he's got multiple weapons. You start shoring up that defense, and then the other thing is Cam brings his own abilities to the field. So you add those with what you've got in Dallas, and then you turn around and just you don't really have to. You don't have to overhaul the defense this season, but you do have to make some changes. And if you can just make some subtle changes in the defense, you can get a piece here and there and a piece here and there, and you can piece together a defense that's even comparable to holding a team to, let's say, 3 touchdowns or less. And when you've got Cam with those weapons, now you've got a legit shot at, winning the conference and possibly even making the playoffs and going further. And I'll add this to that. Cam would be a great backup for Dallas next season, and he'll be a great starter for the beginning of the season if Dak isn't ready, which I believe he'll be ready. But in case he's not, he'll be a great starter, and he'll be a great backup during the season. So I think Cam to Dallas is a really good – I think it's a great fit. I wouldn't put it past Belichick to get with Cam here in the next couple of weeks. I think – you know what? Want to know why I think he picked Cam up? This is just my personal opinion. I don't think trade bait. Exactly. I don't believe he believed for a second that Cam was going to be the quarterback for the New England Patriots. It's just not Bill Belichick's kind of quarterback.
Okay, so let's go ahead and pump the brakes a little bit here. The NFL it's a female. Let's be honest. They overreact about everything, right? We were talking just 2 weeks ago how the New England Patriots were a Super Bowl caliber team. Like how Cam Newton was.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, well, people were saying I was saying it. LeBlanc was saying it. Brandon Combs from Triple Shot Sports was saying it like as well. The Patriots look like a Super Bowl caliber team. Flash forward a week off. Cam missed 2 games? I do believe, and now he looks like he is a JV quarterback with everything moving so fast. Now I didn't even think about Cam Newton to the Dallas Cowboys.
You'll have to excuse me, bro. I got a cold.
However, they don't have a couple weeks. They have 3 days to really make this thing happen. November 2nd is the deadline, which is the next Tuesday. So they really have to start moving stuff a little bit forward. But thinking about this moving forward, Cam Newton for Andy Dalton kind of sounds intriguing because I said it earlier, in August, I thought Andy Dalton would be a perfect fit for Bill Belichick's system. Basically a Tom Brady-esque type quarterback, slide back in there
with a better
Cowboys.
arm.
Yeah, and then the Dallas Cowboys, they have Dak. Cam Newton would be a great transition. However, the Dallas Cowboys would not keep Cam Newton on the roster moving forward because that is a threat to Dak Prescott's starting ability for the next season. He is because, let's be honest, Cam Newton is better than Dak Prescott.
I disagree. I think we're seeing right now Dallas is in so much disarray. I think not only Jerry Jones and his son are seeing this, The whole team is seeing it. The whole nation is seeing it. You being a Cowboy fan and your second team, you're seeing it. We're all seeing just exactly how much Dak means to that team. And it's not just his presence on the field. It's his presence in the locker room. It's what he means to the guys. It's his leadership. He may not be the most spectacular quarterback that Dallas has ever had, or even the NFL, but he is a winning quarterback. If you look at the stats, he's a winning quarterback.
He is much like Lamar Jackson, winning in the regular season, can never do it in the postseason when time
Well,
matters.
Lamar hasn't had the time yet. Now let's give him a couple years. He's only going to make his second playoffs this year. He just started last year, and then the year before he only came. I know, but the year before he only came in to relieve Flacco. So you can't really, and he did great. He really did good, but you got to give him some time. I think Baltimore is going to make a jump, and I'm picking them to beat Pittsburgh this week. But
how much time do you need? Patrick Mahomes got a first playoff win his first year as a starter. And Lamar Jackson lost, and then the next year, Patrick Mahomes led his team to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson lost. So how much time do you need?
Well,
first of all, 7 years, 8 years?
Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. He's an all-around better quarterback. That's one. Number two, he also has a much better supporting cast. Now, I don't know that it's a much better run organization because Kansas City and Baltimore both are great. They're run back. They have great owners, great management, so they're good organizations. But the team that's around Lamar, he does not have nearly the weapons that Mahomes has. And also, Patrick Mahomes, I believe, has a much better quarterback mind than Lamar does. So he understands how to use his weapons better and do things. So that being said, give that edge to Kansas City. But I still think you have to give Lamar – I don't know that Baltimore is going to win a Super Bowl, but I think he could at least make a conference championship game and possibly make a Super Bowl. But you got to give the guy time. He's a different type of quarterback. He has to learn differently. See, Mahomes came in with a quarterback coach. There was a difference there. Lamar came in, he didn't have that. So and now Lamar's got to change his whole game around for the most part to fit. So it's a different dynamic. But give Lamar a chance. I think Baltimore's championship quality. I really do.
I will not be giving Lamar Jackson any time because he is complete trash. He will never win in January moving forward.
Maybe not.
So on the M&M marketing chat line here, Triple Shot Sports says Dallas should go get Fitz Magic, as in
there's another good
Ryan
one.
Fitz.
Yeah.
And no, absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely not. You are looking at a 37-year-old quarterback over the hill that got benched.
He's just filling in for the year, though. He's just filling in for the season.
Ryan Fitzmagic is good for 3 games a year. He's already had his 3 games.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see if Tua's really ready. I like the move. I don't like the way they did it to Fitz, but it's a business. But I like the move with Tua.
We'll be talking about that later in the show, don't be giving away too much.
Well, I think Tua's good, but we got to wait and see. That the jury's still out on him. We don't know what he's going to be like. Fitz could come back in, so there's a lot to that. I wouldn't put, but I like that. I like Fitz. He's a gunslinger and he's got weapons. Why not?
He is a gunslinger for 3 games a year. He's already had his 3 games a year.
You could possibly get him cheap. You could get him cheap.
Though?
Probably.
I'm not sure about that.
37-year-old quarterback who fires the ball up the field. You can get him cheap. He's good for 6. What do they have left? 9 games? I think he's good for – in that division, I think with Fitz, you could win that division.
We could, we'll see. So speaking of the Miami Dolphins, we're going to talk about them on the other side of the break, guys. So we're going to be right back right here on the Mike and Mike Man Hour. 1 o'clock edition, East Coast time. We'll be right back.
It's hard to find. I work on the factory line, and all I do is stay behind. Call my mama like I should. She says, Daddy ain't doing too good. Me and him should wed a line, just can't seem to find the time. But I love my life, man, it's something to see. It's the kids and the dogs and you and me.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. I'm keeping it slow and smooth tonight. That was from Chris Stapleton. That song is called "A Simple Song." So with that being said, we are simple people over here. And Coach Tips joins me today. Let me turn you off mute there. So Tip, welcome back to the show. You are a Miami Dolphins fan.
I am.
And you've been pretty vocal about, your picks with the Miami Dolphins and whatnot, but they did bench Ryan Fitzpatrick after destroying the 49ers, after destroying the Jets, right? And then they get benched for a rookie quarterback. What are your thoughts about bringing Tua in after Ryan Fitzpatrick has had such a good start of the season?
There's a lot of layers to this. Okay, if you look at it, if I look at it from a moral standpoint, or anybody does, it was really a crappy way for this deal to happen. It really was. Nobody wants to be done like that. Anybody at their job, you come in and you just say, "Hey, man, we're going to replace you today." It's like, and you've been doing a good job. You've been doing your job, what you're supposed to be doing and producing. And then somebody says that's really a shot to you. You got a family to feed and bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. But then you look at the NFL and you say, okay, this is a business. And these things happen on a daily basis. All right. So from a football standpoint, for my Dolphins, and from a fan's standpoint, I like the move for the simple fact that I think Tua is the kind of quarterback like a Russell Wilson. He can be like him, only he's left-handed. He could be like a Kyler Murray or, somebody like that. And I picture him being that type of quarterback. So Miami has weapons. They may not be top-tier weapons, but they have weapons. They've got Parker, if he could ever stay healthy, who was really starting to produce before he got injured. They've got Pat Williams, who from time to time will have a good game, but he's a deep threat. Gesicki, I'm not sure why they don't incorporate him more in the game. But if the protection can protect him, if the line can protect Tua and give him time to throw, because it's different blocking for a left-handed rookie than it is for a right-handed veteran. Okay, so they knew how to block for Fitzpatrick. They have only had a couple of weeks or a few weeks since football began to prepare to block for Tua. So if the blocking is good, if the O-line can do their job and keep Tua upright, I think Tua has weapons there. You've got, Breida, he's kind of here and there. Gaskin, he's really coming on. So he's got some weapons there to work with. And if Tua can do well, which I believe he'll do well enough for Miami to want to go out and get more weapons for him. Will they make the playoffs? Will they win the AFC East? I highly doubt it. I'm still sticking with Buffalo on that. I'm not even sure that Miami makes a wild card. But will they be good enough in the next 9 games for Tua to showcase his talents, to show the management, hey, I'm what you're looking for. I can do this. You get the right people around me, and we can do something here. We can make a run here. And I think that's what's going to have to happen. But it all starts with the offensive line, and because if you can't keep Tua upright, then he's already suffered major injuries. So It's imperative to keep him upright.
Okay, so here's the issue that I have with Miami Dolphins sitting Ryan Fitzpatrick in for place of rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. The issue that I have is the fact that the Miami Dolphins were looking like a pretty damn good football team when Ryan Fitzpatrick was at the helm.
Yep.
They beat the Jaguars. They went toe-to-toe with the Seattle Seahawks. They destroyed the 49ers, and they destroyed the Jets as well. Then going into a bye week, we all kind of knew if the trade was going to happen, it was going to happen during the bye week because you get 2 weeks to prepare as a new quarterback for the LA Rams. Triple Shot Sports comes in and says that Miami does very well with Tua until he gets hurt, and I feel that is more likely than a sustained long career, unfortunately. So with like all that being said, why would you want to risk Tua in a season that you don't think you're going to win the division? In a season that you don't think you can make noise in the playoffs? In a season where, yes, you are going to be a 500 ball club, but you are kind of looking to build more for the future still, right? So why bring in your rookie quarterback that is going to only play for probably 5 or 6 years until because he is injury prone with the ankle, the hip, the back, whatever else is like wrong with him. Why sustain him to a vulnerable offensive line when you have a 37-year-old guy that is more than willing to take it in the chin game after game after game? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because I think the Miami Dolphins were a playoff team with Ryan Fitzpatrick as a quarterback. Awesome. With Tua, I think they missed the playoffs because of this first game. I mean, his first game is against a very stingy LA Rams defense. Sam Darnold is going to feast on this kid, and he might be shell-shocked and shit the bed for the rest of the season. Let's be flat honest.
I think, like I said, that's why I say the O-line is imperative. So the first thing you have to do is you have to say, okay, he's a left-handed quarterback. I need my right tackle. That's got to be just the opposite of a right-handed quarterback who has to have a left tackle. So my right side of my line, especially my right tackle, has to be top-notch. All right? So you put Tua in, let's face it, Miami maybe makes the playoffs with Fitz. Do they go anywhere? Most likely not. Probably not. They may play a first-round game against a top opponent and get drummed. I mean, let's just be real about it. So why do that when you can put Tua in for the rest of the season or as much as he'll play, and you can see what he's about, you can see what the O-line is about, you can see how he uses his weapons, what he likes to do, you can see all his tendencies, because let's face it, you can see some things in practice, but when a game comes about, it's a whole different ball game then.
You're right.
Okay. So you see a lot of tendencies. You might see Tua do this, or you might see Tua do that. And you say, okay, we got to correct that for next year. But I like what he did here. Is he worth keeping? Is he not? Are we going to tank so that we can go for Trevor Lawrence, or can we maybe get higher draft picks so we can get him, his right side of the line to protect him, things like that. So I'm looking at things like that and saying, okay, I think these are the reasons that they went ahead with Tua, because I think they were going to do it with the bye week anyway. I think they already had it planned after the bye week, and I know you've heard this also. And the bye week got moved up, so they just said, okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and throw him in there. Let's see what he can do. And this way they get a good feel and a good read for who Tua is on the field during a game, during the heat of the battle. They get a good feel for the weapons that he may need, the ones he likes, what he doesn't like. Does he prefer tight ends? Does he prefer big wide receivers? Does he prefer speedy wide receivers? Does he prefer catching running backs? Running, what does he need? But we know we got to shore up that offensive line. And with the way that we're playing with Fitz, if we make the playoffs, we don't get that good of a draft pick, and then we don't get a good offensive lineman for him, or the chances are lessened. So I kind of see those things in motion here, and I think that's why just my opinion, I think that's part of the reason why they went ahead and made this move.
Well, I can tell you that you're absolutely wrong on that because of what Brian Flores did last year. They had the opportunity to get the first overall pick and kind of take the foot off the gas the last 3 or 4 games of the season, and I think they rattled off 3 or 4 wins in a row to end the season to get like a 10th or 11th like a pick. Overall, Triple Shot Sports comes in with the heat, and he says because the Rams are coming to town, let Tua get killed, and then Fitzpatrick can come back in after and run with it. The problem with that is I see is when you make a move like that, when you bench a veteran quarterback that is on a roll, it is hard for him to get worn back up. It'll take him 3 or 4 games to get back into that groove, because we saw it versus the Patriots and the Bills the first couple weeks. He just wasn't quite there. Started to heat up, started to do well here. So I think if Tua gets hurt, if Tua gets hurt, Fitzpatrick doesn't play another game this season.
I don't think so either.
You're looking at the third string quarterback like at this point. So,
and you know what? Maybe Miami's a landing spot for Cam. Possibly. You never know. They got some weapons. They're just not top notch. I just want to preface that by saying this. I'm not sure that Flores is the man to get them there. I say this. I put him in the same category as San Diego, the Chargers head coach. And I can't think of his name right off the bat. But I think he's a guy that can get them to a certain point, but then to get them over that hump, I think you're going to have to end up eventually hiring big-time guys, somebody with, that can get them over that hump. I'm not sure
Flores is doing a great job there.
He's doing a great job now. Well, the coach for San Diego or the Chargers is doing a great job too. But I'm not sure he's the guy that can get them over the hump to go to the playoffs or to make a run in the playoffs.
Right. So jumping over in the comment section here, Brandon Combs says the man, I don't know who is commenting through TSS, but they're very, very smart. No, they're not, because that's you, Mr. Brandon Combs. And then Guy Sarver says Starver strike zone. I mean, come on, man. You spanned our comments 3 days in a row. Ball on you. Strikes on that. And then, whoa, came to Miami. Tip, are you drinking out of Buck's cup?
No, buddy. Got my own, brother. Got my own.
So the problem with that is I will always wish ill will on the Arizona Cardinals and the Miami Dolphins moving forward because they never gave Josh Rosen a chance. Like, let's be flat out honest. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals drafted Josh Rosen first overall. He played, 3 or 4 games? And like, oh, this isn't our guy. Get him out of town. Miami never gave him a shot whatsoever. Shipped him out, just out of town. Let's make this full circle and go back to the Dallas Cowboys here. The Dallas Cowboys need a quarterback. I think Josh Rosen might be the answer. I believe he's a free agent out there sitting somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. So why not get a guy like Josh Rosen?
Because he's garbage.
No, he's not. He's a
garbage.
first.
He is trash. Arizona took the trash out. Arizona would never be as good right now as they are unless they got rid of Josh Rosen.
They would have been better.
No way.
Yes.
He's nowhere near the quarterback Kyler Murray is. Nowhere near.
I'm not saying that, but you wouldn't have to completely change your offensive scheme mindset for one quarterback.
Yeah, but they've changed everything around, and it's working pretty well for them. The management changed it up. It's working pretty well, Buck.
Josh Brandon's comes in and says that he's complete garbage.
Thank you, Combs. He is
Rosen's
garbage.
is the only thing worse than Buck's takes. See, the problem with that is, Brandon, is I did not say Jameis Winston is better than Drew Brees. Tip, you missed that. You missed that last night. Brandon comes out and says that Jameis Winston, the backup quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, is better than Drew Brees, and he would do better than Drew Brees with the New Orleans Saints right now. That is a complete false statement.
I will say this. The only way that I would want Jameis Winston in there right now, because Drew Brees is playing, they don't have their top, their top wide receiver. He should be coming back pretty soon. But, Brees is holding it down. They're starting to kind of get their groove together. He's picking people apart. He's using different weapons. One day he may use this guy, and another game he may use this guy, but for fantasy football purposes, I would love to see Jameis Winston come in and take Drew Brees' place with all the weapons that they have, because I would pick him up in a heartbeat if I could get to him, and he is a monster in fantasy football. And like I said, he's gold. He'd be platinum without the turnovers, and he may have learned a lot, being under a different coach and organization.
So some breaking news just came through the wire on the old Twitter machine. The Packers have inquired with the Houston Texans about wide receiver Will Fuller V. Packers are trying to make some moves as well as
I think they should go after Gallup.
The Cowboys will not give up Gallup.
They should.
For why? Because he's a top receiver in the NFL.
Because he's garbage this year.
So why would the Packers want to go for a garbage receiver?
Okay, Gallup. I mean, they've got too many weapons. You don't have a quarterback to spread that around like that. When Dak was there, Gallup was average, and he was supposed to be way above average. And now he is, but he's not in the right place. He could be a superstar in Green Bay. He really could. He could complement them very well. You still got Wilson. You still got your other receivers. You got Coop. You got Wilson. You got, you still got Zeke and a couple other guys. I mean, Schultz is coming along. You can only spread the ball around so much. That's why I'm wondering about this Tampa Bay deal with Brown. I think they're good, and I think they were going to do good last year without Brown, and then they brought him in, and he just jacked everything. I think he's too much for Tampa Bay. I just do. That's just too much.
Yeah,
So,
I've said it on like other shows and most recently on the After Hours with Brandon Combs and myself. I said, look what Tom Brady and Antonio Brown did in the Patriots last year. The game that AB played for the Patriots, Tom Brady forcing the ball 17, 18 times. And I could see that happening in Tampa Bay as well. Mike Evans starts to get upset. Gronk starts to get upset because Gronk is starting to come back into his own. He's in game shape, and so I don't know.
I'm sorry.
The Bucks will still go 10-6 with or without AB because their schedule dictates that. It's easy as hell. They are still a first-round loss.
No, Super Bowl bound. I told you at the beginning of the season I had them in Kansas City in the Super Bowl, and I was picking Kansas City. I'm leaning towards Tampa Bay now, and that's without Brown. Now, if they can get Brown to come in there and be cool, and be happy with Godwin being the man one game and Evans being the man another game, and Brown maybe, if he can be cool with that and be a team player and keep the low profile, that's the only way this is going to work. But he just helps Tampa Bay if he does that.
Right.
And then you've got Leonard Fournette that's coming on. He's starting to come on a little bit. And I think Jones is a back that, okay, look at Mike Davis for Carolina. McCaffrey's coming back. Mike Davis, he's pretty much done. He's not a back that can get you through a whole season right now. He's a fill-in back. I think Jones is the same for Tampa Bay, and I look for Fournette to start coming on because let's face it, they didn't get him to sit the bench, and he's too good of a running back to be getting paid what he's getting paid and not producing. So eventually their plan is for him to stay there, at least for Tom Brady's tenure there. And you get all those pieces working, man, and you get a man like Tom Brady, man, I'm leaning towards Tampa Bay. Whether they're 10-6 or not, I don't look for them. I don't look for them to do anything less than go to the Super Bowl. That's just
only
me.
Time will tell, guys, and that is going to be it for the Man Hour today. We have reached the time limit. Unfortunately, we got things to do. We got to get back to work because life is a struggle. But before we head out, head over to MikeandMikeManHour.com. Pick yourself up some hoodie or some merchandise as well. Coach Tip, any closing thoughts before we head out today?
Man, nothing much really. Just, keep it light, people, and I don't know. You caught me off guard.
All right, guys. That is going to be it for the Man Hour, guys. Join us tomorrow. Same time, same place, 1 p.m. East Coast time. MikeandMikeManHour.com, guys. We'll be here tomorrow. Bye. Have a great day.
First time that I saw him, wonder how many girls he had loved and left haunted. But if he's a ghost, then I can be a phantom, holding him for ransom. Some boys are trying too hard. He don't try at all, though. Younger than my exes, but he act like such a man. So I see nothing better. I keep him forever, like a vendetta. I see how this is gonna go. Touch me and you'll never be alone. Island breeze and lights down low. No one has to know. In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams, I know I'm gonna be with you, so I'll take my time. Are you ready for it?